Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, why do I feel older than I look? Maybe your body feels heavier in the mornings, or your energy just doesn't bounce back like it used to. It's not just time doing its job sometimes, it's the little things we repeat every day without even noticing that slowly chip away at our health and vitality. You might think you're doing everything right, eating relatively well, moving a bit, seeing the doctor when you need to. But what if I told you there are simple everyday habits that are quietly shortening your lifespan? Not big dramatic things like smoking or extreme stress, but small patterns that creep in with age, things that feel harmless, even comforting. That's what we're going to talk about today. Because after 60, every little choice matters more than ever. The good news? Once you spot these habits, you can change them gently, slowly, and in a way that brings energy and joy back into your life. Let's start with one habit that hides behind a smile, saying yes too often. You might not think of that as a health risk, but let me explain. When you've lived 6, 7, maybe 8 decades, you've learned to put others first. Maybe you raised a family, took care of aging parents, or showed up for neighbors, friends, and even strangers. That's beautiful. But now you might still find yourself saying yes out of habit even when your body says no. You agree to help someone move, babysit the grandkids all weekend, or take on volunteer work that leaves you wiped out, and you tell yourself it's just what good people do. But here's the thing. Chronic overgiving depletes your energy reserves, weakens your immune system, and quietly builds resentment. It can even increase inflammation, which is directly linked to many age-related diseases, heart problems, arthritis, memory loss. You don't have to stop being kind, but it's okay to say, I'd love to help, but I need to rest today. That's not selfish, it's wise. Giving from an empty cup isn't noble, it's draining. And when you learn to protect your energy, you actually end up showing up better for the people you love. Now let's talk about another surprising habit, one that feels like it should be healthy. Always eating the same thing. Consistency is comforting, right? Oatmeal every morning, chicken and rice for dinner, a banana at lunch. Simple, easy to digest, no surprises. But here's the catch. Your body thrives on variety, especially as you age. Eating the same foods every day means your body gets the same nutrients and misses out on others. You might be low in zinc, lacking antioxidants, or not getting enough healthy fats to support your brain. And here's where it gets tricky. Even healthy foods can cause problems if they're all you eat. For example, eating too many grains but too few leafy greens can throw off your magnesium levels, which affects everything from sleep to blood pressure. Over time, that narrow food pattern can quietly set the stage for chronic issues. So how do you fix it without overhauling your whole diet? Start small. Add one colorful vegetable you haven't had in a while, maybe some purple cabbage, red bell pepper, or even roasted beets. Swap your usual fruit for something in season. If you always eat chicken, try salmon one night or lentils the next. Your taste buds might need a moment to adjust, but your body will thank you in ways you didn't expect. And now, let's look at a habit that almost everyone does, but no one talks about: sitting too much. I'm not just talking about skipping the gym. I mean those hours we spend in a favorite chair, watching TV, reading the paper, or even doing puzzles. Rest is important, of course, but the human body, especially after 60, needs gentle movement to stay alive. Sitting for long periods, even with good posture, slows your metabolism, weakens your muscles, and reduces circulation to your brain. It's been linked to earlier mortality, even in people who exercise regularly, but before you feel guilty about your recliner, don't worry. You don't need to become a marathon walker. Just set a timer to stand up every 30 to 45 minutes. Stretch your arms, march in place, take a lap around the room, or walk to the mailbox and back. These little bursts of movement act like magic for your blood flow, your mood, and even your memory. And if you like watching your favorite shows, turn that into a mini wellness routine. Do some ankle circles during commercials. Try standing up and sitting down a few times in a row like a gentle squat. Movement doesn't have to be exercise. It just has to be consistent. You might be wondering, can these small habits really change how long I live? The truth is, they already are. Every day. You say yes when your body says no, skip color in your meals, or sit a little too long. It sends a message to your body. But every day you make a better choice. Just one small shift, you begin to write a different story. Because aging isn't a decline, it's a transition, and you still have more chapters to write. Now, let's keep going. Because the next habit is one that disguises itself as harmless but quietly steals your joy and your years. You know that feeling when you wake up, and instead of being greeted by curiosity or calm, your first instinct is to check your phone? Maybe it's a quick scroll through the news, a look at messages, or seeing what's new on Facebook. Seems harmless, right? But here's where it gets tricky. Constant exposure to negative news or emotional drama, especially first thing in the morning, primes your brain for stress. And chronic stress, even the kind that doesn't feel dramatic, is a slow but powerful enemy to your longevity. Your body doesn't know the difference between real-life danger and digital drama. So when you read upsetting headlines or get drawn into someone else's problems online, your stress hormones spike. Cortisol rises, blood pressure increases, your body tenses up. And over time, that repeated stress response wears you down on a cellular level. It accelerates aging, weakens your immune system, and increases your risk for chronic disease. You don't have to toss the phone out the window. But try this. For the first hour after waking, keep your mornings sacred. Let your mind wake up slowly. Stretch, make tea, look outside, or simply sit in stillness. Let your day begin with your thoughts, not someone else's noise. That single shift can change the entire rhythm of your body and help you live with more intention, more calm. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you even more. Loneliness. Not just being alone, but feeling alone. You can be surrounded by people, family, neighbors, caregivers, and still feel invisible. Or maybe you don't talk about it because you think it's just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Chronic loneliness is as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, that's a real statistic from health studies. Loneliness increases the risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even early death. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because human connection is essential to your survival. It's not just emotional, it's physical. Our brains are wired to thrive in community. Now, making new friends after 60 isn't always easy. Some people have moved away, some have passed on, and social circles may have shrunk without you even realizing. But there are ways to gently build connection. Again, without forcing it or feeling awkward. Start small. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a local walking group, book club, or faith community. Say hello to the same neighbor each day and let the greetings turn into conversation. You don't need dozens of friends. One or two real, caring relationships can add years to your life truly, and if in-person isn't always possible, even a regular phone call or a weekly Zoom chat can be medicine for the heart. And while we're here, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, holding on to old anger. You might be thinking, I'm not angry, I've moved on. But sometimes the body holds on to grudges even when the mind wants to forget. It might show up as tension in your shoulders, a clenched jaw, or that tightness in your chest when someone brings up the past. Unforgiveness doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in the body. And it's heavy. It keeps the stress response activated, contributes to inflammation, and can affect sleep, digestion, and even your memory. And here's the hardest part. The person you're angry at might not even be thinking about it anymore. But your body is. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself. You don't have to forget. But you can say, this no longer gets to control my peace. You can write a letter and never send it. You can speak it aloud in a quiet room. You can pray. You can release it in whatever way feels true for you. Because healing isn't just for the other person. It's for your heart, your joy, your years. And as we move through these habits, saying yes too often, repeating the same meals, sitting too long, absorbing digital stress, loneliness, and lingering anger, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Like, where do I even begin? But here's what. I want you to remember. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to become a different person. You already have everything you need inside of you. Wisdom, experience, courage. What you might need now is simply a gentle reminder that your life still matters and that it's never too late to feel more alive. Change doesn't begin with pressure. It begins with noticing. Noticing when your body feels tired. Noticing when your mind feels overstimulated. Noticing when your heart longs for connection or peace. From that place of awareness, even the smallest step forward becomes powerful, and it's not about perfection. It's about progress. About giving yourself permission to do what's best for you now, not just what's expected or what you've always done. We've talked about some powerful shifts already, but there's still more to uncover. Because sometimes it's not just what we do that shortens our lifespan, but what we don't do. You see, not doing certain things, things that seem optional or even trivial, can be just as damaging over time as doing the wrong ones. And one of the biggest ones that sneaks up on people after 60 is not drinking enough water. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not even that thirsty most days. Or maybe, I drink tea or coffee, doesn't that count? But here's the truth. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. You might not feel dehydrated, but your cells, your brain, even your joints might be screaming for moisture. Mild. Dehydration can show up in sneaky ways, feeling tired in the afternoon, having headaches that don't quite go away, or forgetting where you put your glasses even though they're on your head. It can even make your skin look older and your digestion sluggish. Over time, it stresses your kidneys, affects your heart, and increases the risk of falls, especially when you stand up quickly. And the fix is simple: more water. Not gallons, just enough. Start your day with a glass before anything else. Keep a favorite cup near your chair. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water doesn't excite you. Sip slowly throughout the day. You don't need to chug, you just need to be consistent. Your energy, your clarity, even your joints will thank you. Now, another habit that silently chips away at your well-being: not challenging your brain. You might have retired from work, but your brain hasn't retired from learning. And it needs new input to stay sharp. Doing the same puzzles, reading the same genres, or watching the same types of shows can leave your mind understimulated. Just like muscles shrink without use, so does mental agility. But here's the exciting part: you don't have to go back to school or memorize poetry. You just have to introduce a little novelty. Try learning a new skill, maybe drawing, or a few words in another language. Pick up a new instrument. Change the route of your walk. Even brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand gets your brain firing differently. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and grow, doesn't stop at 60, or 70, or even 90. It continues as long as you use it. The more new things you introduce into your day, the more your brain lights up. And a vibrant brain leads to a vibrant life. There's one more habit that might surprise you. One that almost no one talks about openly, but it matters deeply. It's the habit of denying yourself joy. Yes, joy. Somewhere along the way, especially after 60, we start thinking joy is optional, or even indulgent. Maybe you were taught to put your head down and work hard. Or maybe you feel like too much time has passed to try new things, go on adventures, or do something just because it makes you laugh. But joy isn't a luxury, it's a life force. People who experience regular joy, real, heartfelt joy, live longer, they recover faster, they have stronger immune systems and better memory. And joy doesn't have to be big. It can be something as simple as dancing in your kitchen when no one's looking, or singing along to a song from your youth, baking cookies with the grandkids, sitting in the garden, painting something silly, laughing at a corny joke even if you're the only one who thinks it's funny. Joy feeds your spirit. And when your spirit is nourished, your body follows. So if you've been waiting for a sign to do something fun, this is it. Life isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about creating moments that make you feel fully alive. You are not just surviving these years, you are still living them. And how you choose to live, even now, shapes how many more moments you get to enjoy. All of these habits, saying yes too often, eating the same meals, sitting for hours, starting the day with stress, feeling disconnected, holding grudges, forgetting to hydrate, not challenging your mind and neglecting joy, they may seem small. But together, over years, they quietly create the difference between just getting older and growing wiser, stronger, and more radiant. And the beautiful truth is, it's never too late to shift the path, not through guilt, not through fear, but through love. Love for yourself, for your body, for the life you still have to live. You've made it this far not because you've done everything perfectly, but because you've kept going. That's strength. That's wisdom. And now you have the power to take that wisdom and use it to make these years not just longer, but richer, more joyful, and deeply meaningful. You deserve to feel alive. You deserve to feel good in your body. And you absolutely deserve to feel proud of the life you're still building, one choice, one moment, one joyful breath at a time. So I'd love to hear from you. What habit resonated most? Is there one you're already working on? Or one you didn't realize was affecting your well-being? If this video spoke to you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more ways to feel great, grow wiser, and live well after 60. Because this life, it's still yours. And the best of it might be just beginning. There's something powerful that happens when you reach a certain age. The noise of the world begins to quiet, and you start hearing something much more honest, your own inner voice. That voice, if you really listen, might be asking you questions that are hard to face. Questions like, am I still living the way I want to? Or, what have I given up on, and can I still get it back? These questions aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of awakening. And the most surprising habit that shortens your lifespan isn't physical or even emotional, it's giving up on your sense of purpose. The moment we stop believing that we still have something to offer, something to grow into, or something to look forward to, our bodies begin to listen and they start to slow down. You see, purpose is fuel. People who live the longest don't just have good genes or healthy diets. They have reasons to get up each day. It might be tending a garden, caring for a pet, volunteering, painting, mentoring, cooking for a neighbor, or even just calling someone every morning to check in. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be yours. You still have value. Your voice still matters. And your story is still unfolding. And maybe along the way, you've let that sense of purpose get buried under years of responsibility, loss, disappointment, or routine. That's okay. You can uncover it again gently, like a shell hidden in the sand. Start by asking yourself, what used to light me up inside? And what small thing could I do today that brings joy or helps someone else feel seen? Your purpose might shift over time. That's the beauty of it. What mattered to you at 40 may not matter the same way at 70. That doesn't mean you've lost something, it means you're evolving. And evolution is life. But let's be honest, holding on to purpose also requires one more thing, letting go of perfection. That's the final hidden habit that shortens the lifespan of joy, connection, and growth. Trying to be perfect. Perfection is a heavy burden. It says, I should be thinner, stronger, more productive, more cheerful. It whispers, if I can't do it the way I used to, maybe I shouldn't do it at all. But the truth is, perfection is not only unreachable, it's unnecessary. No one remembers you for how perfect your body was, or how clean your house stayed, or how youthful your skin looked. They remember how you made them feel. They remember your laugh, your stories, your stubborn hope, your hugs, your honesty. So let that be enough. Let your imperfect self be fully seen and fully loved. Let the small things you do be worthy even if no one else notices. And let yourself rest when you're tired, cry when you need to, and laugh even when it's messy. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. You're not here to please the world. You're here to be alive in it, fully, authentically, unapologetically. And the most beautiful thing? It's never too late to start again. Not at 60, not at 75, not even at 90. The human spirit was built for resilience. You can choose right now to drink that glass of water, stretch your arms, call an old friend, open a new book, forgive a memory. Find one more reason to smile today. That choice may seem small, but it sends a message not just to your body, but to your soul. I'm still here, I still matter, and I'm still growing. So take this moment, not just to reflect, but to act, even if it's a tiny action, even if it's just breathing deeply and saying to yourself, I choose life. I choose to care for myself. I choose joy. And from here forward, may you choose it again and again, until your days are filled not with regrets, but with gentle victories. Not with what you've lost, but with all you continue to gain. This video isn't about fear. It's about freedom. The freedom that comes when you know the truth and use it to create the kind of life you truly want to live. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for believing, if even just a little, that you deserve a vibrant, meaningful, and joyful life. If this message touched you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What habit are you ready to change? What's one joyful thing you plan to do today just for yourself? And if this inspired you, please like the video so more people can find it. Subscribe for more content that helps you live well, age strong, and thrive, because this journey isn't over. Not even close. Here's to long life, not just in years, but in laughter, in love, in purpose, in peace. Here's to you.